Hello again everyone. We're just getting ready to go off to Hereford for Easter weekend. The forecast isn't great, looks like it's going to be a little bit wet, but we'll make the most of it. Well, it's Good Friday morning, the weather's actually not too bad, the sun's out. I'm going to just get the bikes on the back of the motorhome and then we'll be off. Off we go! Now, time to set up. We've just got set up, but it's a little bit wet now. The hot water's on and the van isn't on fire. I've just been down the shop for some bits and pieces. You see our van there. The railway runs along behind there, but it's not too bad. Trains are only every hour or so, I think. So yeah, very nice. I'll do a review of the campsite and put it in the link below. We're still chucking it down with rain, but I've got myself some fish and chips from the fish and chip van. Well, those fish and chips were very nice. Still raining. We spent the evening playing Scrabble on Nicky's iPad. Now it's time for bed. We're going to go to Hereford on the bus tomorrow, so see you then. Well, it's Saturday morning and it's been raining all night. The ground's quite waterlogged. I'm glad we're on a hard standing. Well, slept quite well though. I'm off to have a shower. We're walking down to the bus stop. Made it to the bus stop. We found this excellent model shop. I got a new mate. Look at these hinges. Pasties for lunch. Shire Hall. War Memorial. It's the Hereford Cattle Society. There we go. Hereford Cathedral. Old bits of stonework. Excellent. Look up at the roof. Very nice. A bridge over the River Wye. Ah, what a pleasant spot. Yeah, rusty bicycle collection. Okay, well we're back from Hereford on the bus, and I've topped up the water and everything, and I've put out the awning, partly because while we were in Hereford we bought Nicky a new electric bike, and there it is. It's locked up in the centre there. You can't see it very well, but we'll be out for a ride on it tomorrow, I think. Okay, well we had a very nice dinner of duck and rice and vegetables, and some bread and butter pudding. But unfortunately when washing up I noticed that the carpet was a little bit damp underneath the sink, and it turns out that we've got a bit of a problem with the kitchen tap this time. So I've quickly taken the sink out, and you can see that water has been leaking out and swollen up all this MDF here. It doesn't look like there was in fact a Jubilee clip on the waste pipe, but I don't think the waste pipe was leaking. It's underneath the sink here. I believe probably the hot water connection, because it looked like there was hot water running down, but it could have been coming out the tap here. Whether that's because we've got increased pressure now that we've actually got the hot water on, because we haven't noticed this before. But I think what I'm going to do is drain the tank, dump the tank. We've already turned the pump off. We're back to using bottled water again for the rest of the holiday, and then I think I'm going to be fitting a new tap and perhaps some new hoses on there. So there we go, another little problem to keep us entertained. Well, after last night's plumbing disaster, we've had a bit of a relaxed start in the morning. It's Easter Sunday now, and we're off for a bike ride. There's Vicky on her new electric bike. I mean, this is hard work, and she's whizzing off ahead. Ah, beautiful country lanes round here. See how muddy this field is. There's been some bad weather lately. It's a stampede. Look at the beautiful view. There's been an awful lot of rain. Picnic! Well, that was an excellent bike ride. Now for some tea. Oh dear, well, we've just had dinner. I've just come back from washing up, and I didn't realise Nikki had the kettle on, and I put the washing up bowl on top of the hob while I went to finish draining the hot water down. So we're not able to use the hot water now because of that leak. And fortunately I popped back inside and realised the washing up bowl was on fire. Yeah, bit of an error that. Only a little bit burnt in one corner. It'll be fine. But yeah, don't put your washing up bowl on the hob is today's safety lesson, I think. Especially if the hob's lit. That's a bad thing. Don't do that. Well, anyway, tomorrow we're off to the Forest of Dean. It's just started raining again. I've got the bikes underneath the awning to try and keep Nikki's new electric bike dry. So yeah, off to Forest of Dean tomorrow. Rain started coming down pretty hard again. Well, it's Easter Monday morning and it's been raining all night. Had to get up in the night and adjust the canopy here, so it's down on one side so the water drained off it better. Wanted to leave it up to protect the new electric bike we'd bought for a start. I think it's really only supposed to be a sun canopy, but did a pretty good job of keeping the rain off as well. Little pond here out the back of our pitch is pretty flooded. Did rain pretty hard all night. Not forecast to stop either, really. We're all packed away and we're off to Hopewell Colliery. I like a nice colliery, so should be good. Would you like a nice colliery, darling? That's the third property. Oh, okay. We're at Hopewell Colliery. I've left Nikki in the van. She's doing things with curtains. And I'm going to go and have a look round the mine. Nice headgear, look at that. Excellent. That was an excellent little underground tour. Let's go and see if Nikki wants to have a cup of tea in the cafe. So yeah, if you're in the area, I definitely recommend a trip down Hopewell Colliery. I just had a bit of lunch in the cafe as well, which is very nice, and now we're going to try and find the next campsite, Braceland's Forest of Dean campsite. Got no mobile phone signal though, so it's back to the paper maps. We did have a bit of a navigational error, but we're now at the Braceland's Forest of Dean campsite. We're nicely set up here. Nikki's having a bit of a tidy up in the van, and I'm going to wander down the shop. Well, the shop on the campsite only sells sweets and ice cream, so I've been told if I walk up this road I can find a dairy that sells all sorts of other stuff. Well, I never got as far as the dairy. There's a Forest Holidays camp just up the track with a little shop. So I've got some kitchen roll, some ketchup, some cider and a map. Haha, I'm in the woods with me ketchup. Better stop mucking about though. I think Nikki's waiting for the kitchen roll back at the van. We're back in the motorhome and I've got some sausages on for dinner, and Nikki is having the rest of yesterday's prawn curry. Well, those sausages were very nice, and now I've got my pear cider I bought from the shop. Oh, well, it's about 10:30 at night, and I've come a short way into the forest to see if I can spot any wild boar. I think I may have left it a bit too late, because I think they're more likely to come out in the evening time or the early morning. Also on the map somewhere around here is marked a level, but I haven't found that either. But it is rather dark and my head torch is starting to run out of batteries, so I think it's time to beat a retreat back to the camper van. Yeah, it really is jolly dark. Well, you'll no doubt be pleased to hear that I've made my way back to the campsite now. Did manage to find it okay despite my rapidly failing head torch. It seems to come on in my pocket during the day when I don't really want it to and run the batteries down. So maybe some new batteries from the shop tomorrow are called for. Well, there we go. This is the Braceland's Forest of Dean Camping and Caravan Club site. Toilet block there. There you go. They've also got some of these camping pods that you see quite a lot of these days. So it's Tuesday morning. It rained quite a bit in the night again. Not sure what we're going to do today. Might take a bike ride to Simmons Yacht. We're cycling up to the forest centre to get a cup of tea and some breakfast. I'm not sure how I'm going to get on with this hill on my bike. We'll see how Nikki manages on her electric bike. Yeah, there she goes. This is quite hard work, but doesn't seem to be worrying her at all. Even up the really steep bit, look. Blimey. Oh, well, I've had to get off and push. This hill is properly steep. Hope she's bought the tea when I get up to the top. Had breakfast at the forest centre, and now we're off to Simmons Yacht, hopefully. Slight change of plan. We're now off to the outdoor shop to see if we can get a bike helmet for Nikki. Not sure how far up here it is. She shot off way ahead. No, but it looks like she's decided that there's no outdoor shop up this way, and she turned around and she's shot off again. I assume we're now going to Simmons Yacht, but I don't really know because she's maybe 400 or 500 yards ahead. There she is, look, catching up with her. I think next time I'm bringing my electric bike. I'm in an uphill bit and she's off again. Now it's mostly downhill to Simmons Yacht, so it's going to be hard old work coming back, but quite exciting in parts going down, especially with these not very good brakes on my bike. We're nearly to the viewpoint, but there's a nice view already. There you go, River Wye.
Well, there used to be lowlands and highlands farming.
Well, that's still up there, those two crows around.
Excellent. Refreshments shack. I wonder if they sell tea. down to the river. There we are, down at the river. Look at that, look. A nice river. Look how high the river is. It's quackers. Oh, now I've got to walk back up again. Here she comes. That was good. Now I'm back on the bike to the speed bump. Back on the bike to the motorhome. Oh, it's another uphill bit. Goodness knows how far ahead Nicky is. Now back to the van for more tea and another game of Scrabble on the iPad. And I've got the awning wound out to dry it off a little bit.
And I've just scored 33.
Oh, bloody hell. Oh well, Nicky won that game. Right, I'm off for a bit of a stroll. Yeah, well there's quite a few old levels and such marked on the map around these parts. So I'm going to try and see if there's any evidence of things remaining around here where it says levels, not too far from the campsite. Be very surprised if there's anything open around here. The Forestry Commission's probably closed everything up, I should think. But I'll have a look, see if there's anything interesting to see. Well, even if I don't find any mining remains, it's still a very pleasant woodland walk. Absolutely, a very pleasant spot down here. We're away from the normal planned tourist sort of cycle routes and paths, just on a forestry track, so there's no one else about. It has just started to drizzle slightly. Oh, now it's coming down a little bit harder, but that's okay. It'll just be a short shower, I think. I still see the sun up there, so, but yeah, what a lovely place. Right, well I'm almost exactly on top of where those levels are marked on the map. I'm pretty sure this cutting you can see behind me is one of the entrances, one of the levels to probably a coal mine. It's totally run in, there's no open entrance there. I'd be very, very surprised if the Forestry Commission allowed an entrance to stay open this close to a track in such a public area. And of course, if it was open, I'd be very foolish to enter it because I'm on my own, I have no gas detection equipment. Old coal mines very hazardous in terms of gases. It's said that the Forest of Dean coal mines don't have any methane in them because the coal outcrops to surface and the methane is all outgassed to the surface. But it'd be a very brave person who just trusted to that regardless. But anyway, you'd run into problems probably with black damp, which is CO2, which sits just like a layer of water. As soon as you start heading down into the mine, you could pass into a layer of black damp and that would shut you down pretty quick. You'd only get a couple of breaths of that before you were unconscious and then dead. So if you do find the open coal levels, it's not a great idea to enter them. But it is interesting to come and see if you can spot where they were, and I'm pretty sure that is the old entrance to the coal level. It's almost exactly on the crosshairs on the View Ranger app on my phone where that level is marked. Well, a little bit further on, I have actually found this level here, which is open. It's securely gated, as you'd expect, and there's no access to it, of course. It is, I think, an ironstone mine by the look of the rock. It doesn't look like a coal mine, but it could just be going through the rock into the coal, of course, but definitely has an ironstone look to it. So this could be ironstone mining going on here. Oh, that was interesting. I'm now going to see if I can find this little cave marked on the map there, and see if there's anything to see there. Oh, well, it's just starting to get a little bit dusky. I wonder if I'll see any wild boars. That'll be good. This this is a stiff old climb. Well, here we are. I don't know about you, but I think this is more likely to be another iron mine than a cave. I don't know, but let's have a little look inside. Well, as you can hopefully see, it doesn't really go very far, but a pleasant little hole nonetheless. Well, look at this. I may have been wrong in my initial assessment that this was more of a mine. This, I think, does look quite cave-like with these formations. Also got some little gower pools. I don't know if you can see them. Not very well, perhaps. Yeah, don't know really. Maybe someone could tell me if they recognise it. Well, there's quite a deep pool here by the entrance that requires a little bit of athletics to negotiate it without getting too wet. Anyway, I suppose I ought to get out of here before I get too muddy. I don't want to get too told off when I get back to the van. Well, that was a rather pleasant little adventure. Oh, it started to rain again quite hard. I'm wondering whether to walk down to have a look at the river before I head back to the van. Well, look at this. This isn't marked on the map, but I'd say there's a definite chance that there's a cave entrance there. Let's go and have a little look. Well, yes, absolutely. That is definitely a cave entrance of some sort, but I don't think I'll be going in there. That's way too small and way too wet for me today. You could fit in there, I think. You'd be able to crawl in there in the water, but you'd want your caving suit on, definitely. Yeah, just to show you how small that entrance is. I'm not going in there today. Yeah, quite a nice, pretty gorge we're walking through now. Oh, there we go. We're once again back down to the River Wye. And look at her go. There's plenty of water coming down here, that's for sure. This is the way back to the campsite. Babbling Brook. More uphill, gets you warm. Well, it's getting dark in the woods now. Well, this has been a sort of a circular walk, but bizarrely it seems to have been uphill all the way. I think the Forest of Dean is built in some sort of spiral. Well, there's all sorts of footprints around, but see that? I reckon that might be the trotter print of a wild boar. Who knows? Looks like it might be, doesn't it? It does look like just the sort of place you might come across a wild boar, but I haven't seen any yet, sadly. Back at the van, not before time either. Must be time for a cup of tea. Oh, that's better. It's our last night tonight, and we've had a fairly quiet evening in the van. Had a nice dinner and another little glass of cider. I spent most of the evening editing this video, so I hope you enjoy it, and if you do, then don't forget to subscribe. It's always appreciated when people subscribe. Well, it's Wednesday morning, home day. It's rained quite a bit in the night. I'm not sure what we'll do today, or whether we'll just head home because it's so wet. Anyhow, time for some breakfast in the van first. I've had some breakfast and come up for the washing up, and yeah, this weather looks pretty set in for today. Righto, well, we're all packed away, and I'm just going to dump the tanks, and then I think we're going to go and have a cup of tea. I'll just check we've not left anything behind. No, that pitch looks pretty empty. Off we go. Well, we're back home now with Mr. Ginge, and I have to say we had a very nice few days away. Both the sites we stayed at were very good. I'd say that the Bracelands Forest of Dean site was more of a family site, and perhaps the Hereford site was aimed more at older people, I guess. But neither of them any the worse for that, really, and yeah, wouldn't hesitate to recommend either of them. Well, that's all for now. If you enjoyed it, press like, subscribe if you want to see some more, and ring the bell to be notified when we upload something new.